Before we speak about nature, we must slow down enough to hear it, because nature does not compete for attention. It waits for awareness. The first teacher, long before books, before CDs, before belief systems, nature was already teaching, not through instruction, but through experience, not through explanation, but through consequence. A language without words. Nature speaks a language without words. Its grammar is cause and effect. Its punctuation is time. Why we stopped listening. Modern humanity learned how to measure almost everything. Distance, speed, profit, efficiency, yet forgot how to measure meaning. Nature never argues. Nature never argues with humans. It does not convince. It demonstrates again and again until understanding becomes unavoidable. Balance is not morality. In nature, balance is not morality. It is law, and laws are enforced, whether acknowledged or not. Limits create stability. Every stable system in nature survives because it has limits. Growth without boundaries is not success. It is instability in disguise. Excess always corrects itself. When one force becomes excessive, another emerges to correct it. This is not punishment. It is equilibrium restoring itself. Human misunderstanding. Humans often interpret limits as oppression. Nature understands limits as protection. Nothing is wasted in nature. Nothing is truly wasted. What dies feeds what lives next. Endings are not failures. They are transitions. Nature never rushes, yet nothing in it arrives late. Time is a partner. Time in nature is not an enemy. It is a collaborator, shaping, refining, preparing. The human problem with time. Humans experience time as pressure. Nature experiences time as process. Paciencia as intelligence. In nature, patience is not weakness. It is intelligence operating without anxiety. Shortcuts always collect interest. Every shortcut in nature demands payment later. There are no exceptions, only delays. Silence is part of the message. Silence is not absent. It is space for understanding. What happens when we ignore it? When silence is ignored long enough, nature raises its volume, not to threaten, but to be heard. The invitation continues. Nature is not asking for worship. It is asking for awareness. Why this message matters. Now, every era receives the lesson. It is ready to hear. This serum is being asked to remember balance and time. This is only the beginning, because the deeper messages of nature are not about the world outside, but about what we are becoming. Survival is not strength in nature. Survival is rarely about strength. It is about responsiveness. Those who sense change early and adjust quietly remain. Those who resist change loudly disappear. Evolution is not progress. Evolution is often misunderstood as progress. It is not improvement. It is response. Neutral, continuous, and indifferent to preference. Adaptation is intelligence. Adaptation is intelligence without ego. It does not ask whether change is fair. It asks only what must be done to continue. Human resistance. Humans often resist change not because it is harmful, but because it disrupts familiarity. Nature has no attachment to comfort. Stagnation is the real threat in nature. Stagnation is more dangerous than chaos. What does not move? What does not adapt collapses. Power is neutral. A storm does not hate the city it destroys. A fire does not judge the forest it consumes. Power in nature is emotionally neutral. Human projection. Humans project emotion onto natural force, calling it angry, cruel, or unfair. Nature does not participate in blame. Nature teaches humility through scale by reminding us how small we are, not to diminish us, but to orient us. Power without intent. The most dangerous power is not force itself, but force without understanding. Nature applies power without intention. Humans often do not. Nothing exists alone in nature. Nothing exists in isolation. Every system depends on countless others, most of which remain unseen. The myth of separation. Separation is a human concept. Nature operates as networks, interdependent, adaptive, inseparable. Actions travel far in interconnected systems. No action remains local. Every decision sends ripples beyond intention. Delay et consequence. Nature often delays consequence, not to forgive, but to reveal patterns over time. Humans notice collapse when it becomes visible. Nature notices imbalance long before you are inside the system. You are not standing outside this system, observing it. You are inside it, breathing its air, drinking its memory. A disturbed environment produces disturbed minds. An unbalanced world echoes inward. Responsibility does not require guilt. It requires awareness. If everything is connected, then every choice matters more than we assume. Nature has shown us how systems survive, how power behaves, and how everything is linked. What remains is the most difficult lesson, our role within it. The next message is not about nature alone. It is about you. The false divide. Humans often speak of nature as something out there, a place we visit, exploit, protect, or abandon. But this division is artificial. There is no boundary where nature ends and humanity begins. Biology remembers. Your body is not separate from nature. Your breath follows atmospheric rules. Your blood carries minerals once forged in ancient stars. Biology remembers what culture forgets: the inner ecosystem. Just like ecosystems, the human mind requires balance. Excess stimulation creates instability. Neglect creates decay. What happens within mirrors. What happens without. Disconnection has a cost. When humans disconnect from nature, they do not become free. They become disoriented, searching for meaning in noise, remembering our place. To remember our place in nature is not to become smaller. It is to become accurate. Nature does not ask for guilt. Guilt paralyzes. Nature asks for alignment. Responsibility begins when excuses end, not because we are evil, but because we are capable. Nature does not seek revenge. It enforces consequence. The difference matters. Despite everything, nature continues to offer time, not endlessly, but sincerely. The future is not written. It is negotiated, moment by moment. Through behavior, every generation leaves a message for the next, not through words, but through conditions. Nature will continue, with or without us. The question is not survival of the planet, but survival of meaning. Legacy is not what we intend. It is what remains after intention fades. Nature's message was never hidden. It was simply ignored in favor of convenience. Understanding nature intellectually changes nothing. Integration changes everything. This moment, right now, is part of the system responding to itself. There is no dramatic ending, no final warning, only continuity. Nature has spoken, not in words, but in patterns. What you do next is your may this understanding return you to balance within yourself and within the world you shape. The message ends here. The responsibility does not.